Well, it will be a rather nervy drive for this crew, attempting to make it through to the upcoming service. Surely just finishing the stage intact is the main goal.
Starts left of a crest, 120. Good luck.
Documented on camera. The pictures that you're looking at now would be danger even, but in the name of science, ego, sheer curiosity, we'll ignore the risks and we'll do it anyway. Tonight, I want to tell you 3 stories, not of great explorers, but of ordinary people who came face to face with a terrifying reality. Out there in the wild, it can take surprisingly few mistakes, sometimes just one, to become completely lost.
In a matter of minutes, we pass into a near blizzard. The wind-whipped snow swirls eerily above. The temperature drops 10 degrees in a few minutes.
His name was Hans Seiler. He was a husband, a father, a teacher, and an experienced mountaineer. He was also a liar. And on the 15th of April, 1954, 10 schoolboys and 3 teachers were about to accompany him for a hike as part of their 2-week school trip to the Austrian Alps. They had very little idea of what they were about to endure, and even less that the whole thing
5,
would be
4,
documented on camera.
3, 2,
The pictures that you're looking at now
go.
would be their last.
left of a crest,
And when they were finally
120,
published, they would leave the
slowing,
world
slight
stunned.
left, 50,
How
left
is
of
it
a crest,
possible to
onto
become so
tarmac, and
late
5 right,
in a
long,
routine
tightens,
And perhaps more
and crest, and
importantly,
late 3 left,
what kind of
110.
teacher would do something like this? But I'm getting ahead of myself, so let's start at the very beginning. The morning of the hike wasn't a morning like any other. In fact, according to those that were there, the atmosphere was electric.
Starts left of
The
a
night
crest,
before,
120,
the boys,
good luck.
aged 14 to 16, had been specially selected by hands based on their physical fitness for a day-long hike up into the nearby mountains. The route that Hans had chosen for the
5,
group was a wasn't a morning.
Boundary between. Imagine your mind as a grand orchestra, where billions of instruments play together in perfect harmony. Each note is a thought, each melody a memory,
4,
each rhythm
3,
a sensation.
2,
But
1,
what makes this
go.
symphony of
left of the
consciousness
crest,
possible?
120,
Why does your brain create this
slowing,
magnificent
slight
concert of
left,
awareness?
50, left
While
of
a
a crest, onto
supercomputer
tarmac,
processing
and
millions of
5 right,
calculations
long,
per second
tightens, and
remains as
crest, and
silent
late
as
3
a
left,
stone.
110.
IIT theory is one of the most profound and ambitious attempts to crack the code of consciousness.
Starts left of a
Developed by
crest,
neuroscientist
120,
Giulio
good luck.
Tononi in the early 2000s, this theory doesn't just ask what consciousness is, it dares to measure it mathematically, to quantify the very essence
5,
of awareness
4,
itself.
3,
Think about this
2,
moment right now.
1, go.
As you
Left of the
rest
crest,
here, your mind
120,
isn't just processing
slowing,
individual
slight
sensations.
left, 50,
The weight of
left
your
of a
body
crest,
against the
onto
bed,
tarmac,
the gentle
and
rhythm
5
of your
right,
breathing,
long,
the
tightens,
soft
and
texture
crest,
of your
and late 3 left, 110,
Instead, all these experiences merge into one
6
seamless moment
left,
of awareness.
70,
This, according to IIT,
slowing
is
left of
the
a
key to
crest,
consciousness
50,
is not just having
late
information,
3 left,
but
long,
weaving it
tightens,
together into a unified experience.
40, slight
Consider the
right,
difference
tightens
between
4,
your brain
very
and a
long,
security
keep
camera
in,
system
70,
in a shopping mall. The camera system might have hundreds of feeds processing more
starts left
visual
of a crest,
information.
120,
Luxurious spa, you ready to be pampered? Awesome. So I'm going to take your makeup off for you. Yes, we want your skin to be able to breathe. So I'm going to take these little lemon slices right here. That's right. Take a little slice. Take a little slice. This is going to go down your face like this. It's going to take off all that makeup. We really don't want makeup on your skin. You know, we want to make that really clean and really smooth. Now, do you have any sensitivities? Is there anything that I should be aware of? Any allergies? Okay. How often do you get facial peels? Have you ever gotten a chemical peel? That's okay. We don't have to get one today. Do you get massages regularly? Okay, awesome. What's your skincare routine like? Okay, very good. Do you use essential oils? Okay, that's fine. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and keep that closed there. I'm gonna use this little cleansing balm here. Open up the cleansing balm. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this little stick that you can set on your
good luck,
and open up this cleansing balm here. And give it a smell. Do you like that smell? Awesome.
5,
Scratch it.
4,
Okay, that's gonna put
3, 2, 1, go. Left of the crest, 120, slowing, slight left, 50, left of a crest, onto tarmac, and 5 right, long, tightens, and crest, and late 3 left, 110.
some hydration.
Starts left of a crest, 120, good luck,
Okay, this is a really good mask for under eyes, especially during time, especially when you're closing your eyes.
5, 4, 3.
Here, I'm gonna rub this under your eyes. Do you use an eye cream? Do you use an SPF? Do you use a moisturizer? Okay. There you go. Oh, that looks wonderful. I think I can actually see a difference already. Okay. Next, we're gonna take this little sponge here. We're just gonna dab everything in. This is gonna keep the moisture locked in. Everything that we did today. All of the nourishment that we gave your skin.
2,
Very
1, go. Left of a crest, 120. Slowing, slight left, 50. Left of a crest, onto tarmac, and 5 right. Long tightens. And crest, and late, 3 left, 110. 6 left, 70. Slowing, left of a crest, 50. Late, 3 left, long tightens. 40, slight right, tightens 4, very long, keep in 70. Late 3 left, half long, 60. 2 right, don't cut. Crest, 60. 6 right, tightens of a small jump, 130. Slight left, long. Into right of a crest, 170, slowing. Late 3 left, half long, 80. 6 left of the crest, half long, 50. 3 right, opens half long. Into crest, 40. Late 3 right, of a crest, 220. Late 4 left, slowing, 70, crest, 60. Turn, square right, onto gravel. 70, right of the crest, 160. Right of the crest, slowing, 60, crest, sudden, 2 left, 70, 6 right of the jump, 30. Slight left, 30, bump, 50. 6 left, 70. Late 4 right, tightens 3, over bumps, don't cut, and 2 left, 50, 5 left of the crest. Into slight right, through dip, into crest, into 6 left, 70. Late 3 left, into crest, and right of a crest, 40. 1 right, half long. Into slight left of the crest, into slight right, 70. Slowing dip to 3 left of the crest, tightens 30, square right, and 6 left. And crest. To slight right, 30, 6 left, with a bump, into jump, 50, crest, into 4 right, don't cut, into crest, into 3 left, through dip, and right of a crest. 5 left of the crest, and right of the crest, into 4 left, through dip, tightens. 4 right of the crest, half long, 30. 4 left of the crest, to slight right, 50, slowing, crest, 60, late hairpin right. And turn, hairpin left. And 6 left. Into 1 right short, 70. Left of a crest. Water splash. And crest, 60. Slowly, slight left. Into right of a crest, 40. 4 left short, into 2 right sharp, 40. 6 left, opens long. Tightens of a crest, to 5 right, slowing, 70, hairpin left. 30, 1 right short, 40. 1 right to the crest, 80. left sharp, and slide right, open to the crest, 50. 6 left, tightens, 50. 3 right, 100. Finish, 6 left to stop. Okay, that's a 5-minute 2.3.
Good enough. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some things on your arm. I'm going to go like this, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to play tic-tac-toe. Just kidding. We're going to go ahead and put allergens in your skin. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take this little swab. This has the allergen on it, and I'm going to go like this. 1, 2,
A valiant
3.
effort in a very tricky
Get another
stage
swab,
there.
has allergen on it. I'm gonna
Unfortunately,
go
though,
1,
it's not enough,
3.
and this pairing have
I'm gonna get
dropped
another
in
swab, has the
power
allergen on it.
standings.
1, 2, 3. Now, if you can't breathe, if you're getting wheezy, if you're coughing, if you're sneezing, if your eyes are running, anything, just let me know, okay? I'm gonna wait more to watch.
Start left of the crest, 120. Good luck.
What are you allergic to? Are you allergic to cats, dogs, grass, trees, food, air, water? Okay. Earth, sun? Okay, awesome. Alright. I'm gonna prescribe this. Go ahead and sniff. And sniff. Okay.
5, 4,
We're gonna wipe these allergens
3,
off because if you
2,
don't, you might die.
1. Go. Left of the crest, 120. Slowing, slight left, 50. Left of the crest, onto tarmac, and 5 right, long tightens. And crest, and late, 3 left, 110. 6 left, 70.
Because look, I have a whole bunch of series right here. These are all the first in the series.
Start left of the crest, 120. Good luck.
We have students who are trying to kill their teacher. Okay. We have a piece of paper we're trying to learn
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Left of the crest, 120. Slowing, slight left, 50. Left of the crest, onto tarmac, and 5 right, long, tightens, and crest, and late, 3 left, 110. 6 left, 70. Slowing, left of the crest, 50. Late, 3 left, long, tightens. 40, slight right, tightens 4, very long, keep in, 70. Late, 3 left, half long, 60. 2 right, don't cut. 80, crest, 60. 6 right, tightens, of a small jump, 130. Slight left, long. Into right of a crest, 170, slowing. Late, 3 left, half long, 80. 6 left of a crest, half long, 50. 3 right, open half long. Into crest, 40. Late, 3 right of a crest, 220. Late, 4 left, slowing, 70, crest, 60, turn, square right, onto gravel. 70, right of a crest, 160. Right of the crest, slowing, 60, crest, sudden 2 left, 70, 6 right of the jump, 30. Slight left, 30, up, 50. 6 left, 70. Late 4 right, tightens 3 over bumps, don't cut, and 2 left, 50. 5 left of the crest. Into slight right, through dip, into crest, into 6 left, 70. Late 3 left, into crest. And right of the crest, 40. 1 right, half long. Into slight left of the crest. To slight right, 70. Slowing, dip to 3 left of the crest, tightens, 30, square right, up, 6 left. And crest. into slide right, 30, 6 left, over bump, into jump, 50, crest, into 4 right, don't cut, into crest, into 3 left, through dip, and right of a crest, to 5 left of a crest, and right of a crest, to 4 left, through dip, tightens, and 4 right of a crest, half long, 30, 4 left of a crest, into slight right, 50, slowing crest, 60, late hairpin right, and turn hairpin left, and 6 left, to 1 right short, 70, left of a crest, water splash, and crest, 60, slowing slight left, into right of a crest, 40, 4 left short, into 2 right sharp, 40, 6 left, opens long, tightens of a crest, into 5 right, slowing, 70, hairpin left, 30, 1 right short, 40, 1 right of a crest, 80, 3 left sharp, and slight right, opens of a crest, 50, 6 left, tightens, 50, 3 right, 100, finish, 6 left to stop. Okay, it's a 4-minute 52.4.
Everything seems to be A-okay. Good. How's everybody doing? So, did you do your homework? You didn't? Okay, pop quiz everyone. Take out your papers, take out your pens. Alright, I'm physically incapable of reading anything besides blue or black ink. Do not forget it. Alright, everybody, question 1, spell
Fantastic
guitar.
stuff. Some absolutely on-the-edge driving has paid off for this crew
Okay,
as
question
they
number 2.
climb the
What
event
is 8
table.
plus 9? What's 8 plus 9? Put your calculator away. 8 plus 9. Question number 2. Question number 3. What is the mitochondria? What's the mitochondria, everybody? Write it down. Write it down. What's the mitochondria? Pop quiz.
that was time and effort well spent. Have they got the most critical issues under control?
Luxurious spa, you're going to be pampered. Awesome.
Starts left.
Good evening, guys. I'm bringing it to you old school, holding the microphone in my hand, and I'm doing that because it feels good. But what's really going on is that it's July of the year 2019, and
Good luck.
although there's no hoverboards yet, we can at least reminisce and saturate ourselves in nostalgia for the moon landings, which happened exactly this month 50 years ago. And no, I'm not a moon landing denier.
La Iglesia Católica emergió como una poderosa institución en la Alta Edad Media, influyendo en todo.
Los residuos se trataban y eliminaban fuera de los límites de la ciudad, contribuyendo a mantener las ciudades limpias y salubres. En Egipto, los egipcios estaban más preocupados por la construcción de pirámides que por la fontanería básica. Esto se debía a que en la antigua religión egipcia se creía que cuando un faraón moría en el mundo físico, su espíritu continuaba viviendo en el más allá, en el que seguirían gobernando a perpetuidad y donde serían
Slowing, slight left, 50, left of a crest, onto tarmac.
venerados por los vivos. En el
Five
interior
right,
de esta
long
pirámide, el
tightens,
cuerpo del faraón era cuidadosamente
crest,
modificado,
late
un
3
proceso que
left,
se creía
110.
preservaba su forma física y ayudaba a asegurar el
Six
viaje de
left,
su espíritu al más
70.
allá. La pirámide también se llenaba de ofrendas y
Slowing,
tesoros
left of a crest,
destinados a
50,
proporcionar al
late
faraón los
3 left,
recursos
long
que necesitaría
tightens.
en la otra vida. Todos los faraones
40,
querían asegurarse la
slight right,
inmortalidad,
tightens
querían
4,
tener
very
éxito en la
long,
otra
keep in
vida,
70.
querían ser adorados para siempre. Por eso era una prioridad para los faraones egipcios construir pirámides para uso propio cuando fueran enterrados. Comenzó cuando el faraón Joseph De 2667 a 2648 a.C., construyó la pirámide escalonada de Saqqara, seguida del Neferu de 2613 a 2589 a.C., que construyó varias pirámides, como la pirámide doblada y la pirámide rota. Después llegó el faraón de 2589 a 2566 a.C., que construyó la famosa Gran Pirámide de Giza en un proceso de 20 años de trabajo intensivo que aún sigue maravillando al mundo. A su le siguieron los faraones Khafre y Menkaure, que construyeron la segunda y la tercera pirámide de Giza, respectivamente.
3 right, opens half long, into crest, 40, late, 3 right, over crest, 220.
Se inició la primera dinastía china. Al igual que los pueblos de Mesopotamia, los chinos siempre dependieron de la agricultura, produciendo arroz, trigo y cebada, entre otros cultivos. Sin embargo, según cuenta la leyenda, el río Mairis se desbordó. Estas inundaciones masivas destruirían todas las cosechas, provocando hambrunas y sufrimientos masivos. No obstante, no todo estaba perdido, porque Yu el Grande estaba en camino. Yu estaba tan angustiado por este problema que se pasaba el día viajando río arriba y río abajo por el río Mairis. Encontró formas de desviar los ríos construyendo diques y terraplenes para poder regular los cursos de agua. Después de 13 años de duro trabajo, las inundaciones dejaron de causar estragos en la tierra. La gente se alegró y Yu fue aclamado como un salvador. Así comenzó la primera dinastía china, la dinastía Xia. Aunque los historiadores cuestionan la exactitud de este relato, sienta un precedente importante. La idea es que el poder debe seguir a los méritos. Un individuo que merezca el poder absoluto tendrá el poder absoluto. Esa idea daría forma al mundo en los años venideros y provocó que el pueblo de la antigua China le siguiera, creando la primera dinastía china de la historia.
Slowing dip to 3 left of the crest, tightens, 30, square right, and 6 left.
Un rey babilonio llamado Hammurabi sentó las bases del sistema jurídico tal como lo conocemos hoy. Hammurabi ordenó la creación de una losa de 7 pisos de alto y 2 pies de ancho. En ella estaba escrito un sistema de 282 leyes que cada ciudadano de su reino debía seguir. Dichas normas incluían varias leyes, como la ley Cont. Si un hombre presenta una acusación contra otro culpándolo de asesinato, pero no puede probarlo, el acusador será condenado a muerte. Ley 196. Si un hombre destruye el ojo de otro hombre, se destruirá su ojo. La ley 197 dice, si rompe el hueso de otro hombre, se romperá el suyo. Ley 199. Si destruye el ojo del esclavo de un hombre, o rompe el hueso del esclavo de un hombre, pagará la mitad de su precio. Sin embargo, lo que hizo el rey Hammurabi fue crear una sociedad basada en leyes. Estableció leyes estrictas que clasificaban a las personas en ciertas castas de vida y valor. Cada persona valía una cantidad diferente en función de su clase dentro de la sociedad. No había ninguna ilusión de igualdad en el antiguo Babilonia. Por el contrario, estaba bastante claro que el valor del hueso de una noble era mayor que el de un plebeyo, que a su vez valía más que el de un esclavo. Una idea que seguimos viendo a lo largo de la historia. Mientras tanto, en la actual Turquía, una civilización menos conocida llegaba al poder. El imperio hitita bajo el carismático gobierno del líder Labarnas, de 1680 a 1650 a.C. Era un gobernante con una única visión en mente: unir las ciudades-estado hititas bajo un único gobierno. Dirigió su ejército de ciudad en ciudad, conquistando las ciudades-estado vecinas y estableciendo alianzas con sus líderes. Era un diplomático astuto y utilizó sus habilidades diplomáticas para ganarse los corazones y las mentes de la gente. Con el tiempo, Labarna se convirtió en el gobernante de todas las ciudades-estado hititas y estableció el imperio. Era un gobernante justo y equitativo, y su pueblo lo amaba. Bajo su mandato, los hititas prosperaron y su territorio se expandió, quedando al lado de sus vecinos de Egipto.
3 left short, cut, 40, 6 left, slowing, 30, turn,
Mientras en la
1
actual
left,
Grecia
60,
surgió un conjunto de ciudades-estado en el continente europeo. La Grecia micénica de 1600 a.C. a 1100 a.C. Estaba dominada por una sociedad guerrera de élite y consistía en una red de estados centrados en palacios que desarrollaron sistemas políticos, sociales y económicos rígidos y jerárquicos. Esta sociedad era encabezada por el rey. Sin embargo, a diferencia de una civilización unificada, cada ciudad funcionaba por su cuenta. Una ciudad-estado es una ciudad que con su territorio circundante forma un estado independiente. Comienza el desarrollo de ciudades-estado como Troya, Micenas y Tiros. También empezaron a surgir los primeros restos de la lengua escrita griega, conocida como lineal griego, el primer registro de griego indoeuropeo que tenemos en la actualidad.
Into crest, caution, sudden, 1 left, half long, opens, 6 left of crest, 50.
Mientras tanto, en Egipto, empezaban a crear una pirámide social de otro tipo, la pirámide social egipcia. Al igual que la gran pirámide de Giza, es más prominente en la parte inferior y más pequeña en su superior. En la base están los campesinos y los esclavos. Eran los encargados de realizar todo el trabajo manual. Trabajaban en las tierras, que se ocupaban de cultivar día tras día, produciendo alimentos para todo Egipto. Luego, cuando terminaba la temporada agrícola del año, trabajaban en los enormes proyectos de construcción del faraón, construyendo literalmente las pirámides. Ligeramente por encima de los esclavos estaban los artesanos. Eran los canteros, los yeseros y los escultores que creaban el exuberante arte que deseaban los egipcios y por el que Egipto es más conocido hoy en día. Luego venían los mercaderes, que se pasaban el día navegando por el mundo, vendiendo oro, papiro y vino a todo aquel que pudiera permitírselo. Eran muy respetados y obtenían grandes ganancias con sus ventas. Luego venían los escribas. Estos maestros del mundo acudían a escuelas especializadas de escribas para dominar el lenguaje de los antiguos jeroglíficos egipcios. En la práctica, estos escribas llevaban la cuenta de los almacenes de alimentos, de diversos documentos fiscales e incluso de la vida cotidiana del faraón. Después de los escribas venían los soldados. Los soldados tenían la misión de proteger el imperio egipcio. Dedicaban su vida a defender o a realizar ataques preventivos contra el enemigo. Generalmente estaban bien alimentados. Casi en la cima se encontraban los burócratas. Estos altos funcionarios del gobierno realizaban tareas esenciales en la cúspide de la sociedad, como los visires, que dirigían las tareas logísticas necesarias para el funcionamiento de una civilización. Los sacerdotes supervisaban el cuidado de los templos para garantizar que los dioses estuvieran bien atendidos. Los nobles supervisaban regiones específicas del imperio y mantenían el orden de dichas regiones. En la cima, el propósito de todos los de abajo, estaba el faraón, el rey y el mediador entre los dioses y el mundo de los hombres. El faraón será conocido por ser supremo y todos deben sucumbir a él. Cuando el faraón muera, será enterrado en una pirámide la que ayudará a gobernar eternamente el imperio egipcio. La sociedad egipcia fue creada para servir al faraón. Se cobraban impuestos a los campesinos para el faraón y los artesanos fabricaban artesanías únicas. Los mercaderes garantizaban que el faraón estuviera bien abastecido con lo que necesitaba. Los escribas seguían al faraón y registraban sus pensamientos. Los soldados se encargaban de proteger su imperio. Los burócratas hacían los trabajos que el faraón no podía hacer. Mientras el faraón se sentaba en la cima y se comunicaba con los dioses. El faraón Ramsés II, de 1279 a 1213 a.C., logró muchas cosas extraordinarias viviendo en este sistema social. Orquestó la construcción del templo de Abu Simbel, del Ramesseum y el templo de Carreer. También logró hacer crecer el imperio egipcio y reconquistar tierras perdidas por otros faraones, excepto las reclamadas por el imperio hitita. El rey hitita de la época, Muwatalli II, de 1295 a 1272 a.C., era famoso por ordenar a sus tropas que atacaran a sus vecinos egipcios. Siguiendo el ejemplo de la Barnas, Muwatalli II quería unificar el mundo bajo el dominio hitita, pero Ramsés II había tenido suficiente. Otros faraones en el pasado habían tratado de detener a los hititas, pero él sabía que si su imperio iba a tener éxito alguna vez, necesitaba contraatacar. Su objetivo es la ciudad de Kadesh. Ramsés llegó en su carro con 4 divisiones de 20.000 hombres, listo para dominar y matar a Muwatalli. Sin embargo, los hititas ya sabían de la invasión egipcia gracias al espionaje. Fortificaron su ciudad con 40.000 de sus propios hombres. guerra estaba a punto de comenzar. Ramsés decidió separar sus divisiones para forzar la salida de Muwatal, pero este nunca lo hizo. Un espantoso error. Al dividir sus fuerzas quedó expuesto, incapaz de obtener ventaja, dando a Muwatal y a la gente de Kadesh una oportunidad para la victoria. Los historiadores creen que todo lo que hicieron fue salir de la fortificación de Kadesh y atrapar a las fuerzas de Ramsés II en su ejército junto al río. Pero por alguna razón desconocida, nunca lo hicieron, dejando que la batalla de Kadesh terminara en empate. Después de la batalla, sin embargo, ambos bandos decidieron que lo mejor sería dejar de atacarse, que debían vivir en paz y unidad en este mundo. Entonces, tras la muerte de Muwatal, el nuevo rey Hattusili III tomó el trono del imperio hitita. Por medio de mensajeros, en el año 1258 a.C., ambos, Ramsés y Hattusili, firmaron el primer tratado de paz que existió, que decía en parte: Ramsés el gran rey, el rey del país de Egipto, nunca atacará al país de Hatti para tomar posesión de una parte de este país. Y Hattusili, el gran rey del país de Hatti, nunca atacará al país de Egipto para tomar posesión de una parte de ese país. Entonces, se produjo un período de amistad entre estos dos países otrora en guerra. Los hititas eran hábiles en el trabajo del metal y enseñaron a los egipcios a fabricar armas y herramientas superiores.
Slowing, slight left, 50, left of a crest, onto tarmac, and 5 right, long tightens, and crest, and late 3 left, 110.
La paz puede conducir a la prosperidad.
6 left,
El acuerdo se
70.
mantuvo hasta alrededor del año 1200
Slowing, left of a crest, 50, late 3 left, long,
debido a los
tightens,
constantes ataques que sufrían por parte de los
40,
pueblos del
slight
mar,
right,
dejando que el
tightens
imperio
4,
hitita se
very long,
perdiera
keep
en
in,
la vasta
70.
historia.
Starts left of a crest, 120, good luck.
Mientras tanto, en un continente muy lejano, la primera civilización de las Américas pisaba el actual México. La civilización olmeca, del 1200 a.C. al 400 a.C., se considera a menudo la civilización madre de las civilizaciones nativas americanas. Sin embargo, por desgracia, no se sabe mucho de ella, principalmente debido a su escritura en jeroglíficos, que los historiadores aún no pueden descifrar. Uno de los pocos restos que tenemos son estas 17 colosales cabezas de piedra. En la cultura mesoamericana se cree que la cabeza por sí sola podía contener la emoción, la experiencia y el alma de un individuo.
Left of a crest, 50, late 3 left, long tightens.
Al mirar a través de los ojos de una cabeza de piedra, aún podemos sentir su presencia y en cierto modo permanecen inmortales, consagrados en la historia, para que un día tal
Late 3
vez
left,
sepamos
half
quiénes
long,
son.
60. 2 right, don't cut.
Mientras en el este, la dinastía Su del 1046 al 256 a.C. en China estaba
6
avanzando.
right,
La
tightens with a small
dinastía Su
jump,
ganó poder por
30.
los fracasos de la dinastía
Slight
Han,
left,
menos criticada.
long, into right of a crest, 170, slowing.
Esto dio lugar a
Late
4
3 left,
principios en la
half long,
estructura
80.
dinástica china que se
6 left
repetirían una
crest,
y otra
half long,
vez.
50.
1. El cielo otorga al emperador el derecho a gobernar. 2. Puesto que solo hay un
3 right,
cielo,
opens
solo
half
puede
long.
haber un emperador en
Into
un
crest,
momento dado.
40.
3. La virtud del emperador
Late
determina su
3
derecho a
right for
gobernar.
crest,
Y 4.
220.
Ninguna dinastía tiene derecho permanente a gobernar. Un gobernante en dinastía puede perder el mandato del
Late
cielo,
4
y el
left,
cielo no
slowing,
siempre está de parte
70,
de los
crest,
gobernantes.
60.
Con el tiempo, se
Turn,
desvanecería
square
en
right,
otra
onto
dinastía.
gravel.
Los cielos enviarían señales de sequías,
70,
hambrunas,
right of the
inundaciones y
crest,
terremotos a
60.
través de la tierra, señalando que se había perdido la bendición de lo alto. Así fue como la dinastía
Right
Shang
of a
cayó,
crest,
y la
slowing,
dinastía Su cobró
60,
importancia.
crest, sudden 2
La
left,
dinastía Su trajo
70,
otro
6
estilo
right
de
of jump,
gobierno y la
30.
creación del feudalismo. El sistema era sencillo y dio
Slight
lugar
left,
a otra
30,
pirámide social. En el
50.
nivel inferior se encontraban los
6 left,
campesinos ligados a la tierra y
Late
cuyo
4
trabajo
right,
consistía en
tightens
producir
3
cosechas
over
para el
bumps,
imperio.
don't
Luego
cut,
estaban los
and 2
soldados,
left,
cuyo trabajo
50.
consistía en proteger las tierras de los
Five
invasores
left of the crest.
extranjeros. Luego los señores, que poseían la tierra y
It's a slight
cobraban
right,
impuestos a los
through din,
campesinos,
into
con
crest,
una parte
into
de sus
6 left,
cosechas, y a su vez
70.
el señor entregaba al
Late
rey,
3 left,
al rey,
into
responsable de todo el imperio. Recibía
right of a
entonces
crest,
más
40,
cosechas
one
y se
right,
hacía
half
mucho.
long,
Todas las ganancias van a Rey y
to
todo el
slight left of the
trabajo
crest,
va a las masas.
to slight
¿Por
right,
qué alguien se
70,
conformaría con una vida de agricultor día tras día? Hay dos razones para este fenómeno. La primera razón se
slowing
debe a la
in, to 3
necesidad.
left of the crest,
En ese entonces se
tightens,
necesitaba
30,
mucha más
square
gente para
right,
alimentar a un imperio y a
up,
una
6 left,
y la segunda razón es la filosofía.
and crest,
Hacia el final de la dinastía Sun se creó el principio de la filosofía oriental.
into slight right,
Confucio creó un
30,
sistema
6 left,
filosófico
over
justamente
bump,
llamado
into jump,
confucianismo,
50,
que
crest,
se centra
4
en la
right,
importancia
don't
del
cut,
respeto,
into
la
crest, into
lealtad
3
y la
left, through dip,
responsabilidad
and
en
right of a
todas las
crest,
relaciones de la vida. Un concepto central del
to 5
confucianismo
left of a
es
crest,
el llamado ligo,
and
que
right of a
puede
crest,
traducirse
into
como
4 left,
rituales,
through dip,
costumbres
tightens,
o modales. Li se
4
refiere
right
a
of
las
a crest,
convenciones
half
sociales
long,
formales e
30, we have a
informales que
puncture,
guían el
9 kilometers
comportamiento
to
de
go.
la sociedad. Se considera que mantiene el orden y la armonía en
4
las
left of the
relaciones
crest,
sociales,
to slight
mientras
right,
que Lao Tzu
50,
creó otra filosofía
slowing,
llamada
crest,
taoísmo.
60,
La palabra Tao significa
late,
la vida
hairpin
en el
right,
camino, y el taoísmo enseña que los individuos deben
and
tratar de
turn,
alinearse
hairpin
con el
left,
flujo natural del universo en lugar
and
de
6
luchar
left,
contra él.
to
Vive
1
tu
right
vida de la
short,
forma más
70,
pacífica posible contigo mismo. Y no te preocupes
left
por
of a
cosas
crest, water
externas
splash,
fuera de tu control. Céntrate solo en tu
and
agricultura.
crest,
Uno de
60,
los contemporáneos más famosos
slowing,
del taoísmo
slight
es el
left,
concepto del yin y el yang, que
into
representan
right of a
fuerzas
crest,
complementarias e
40,
interdependientes
4
de la
left short,
naturaleza,
into 2
como
right
la
sharp,
luz y la oscuridad,
40, 6
el calor,
left,
el
opens
frío,
long,
o lo masculino y lo femenino. El taoísmo enseña que equilibrando estas fuerzas
tightens of a
opuestas,
crest,
los individuos
into
pueden
5
alcanzar
right,
la armonía
slowing,
y la
70, hairpin
El
left,
confucianismo y el taoísmo hicieron la vida soportable a
30,
los
1 right
antiguos
short,
campesinos
40,
chinos.
1 right of a crest, 80,
Pero con el paso del tiempo, las ciudades-estado que ocupaban la antigua Grecia crecieron. Alrededor del año 800 a.C., la ciudad griega empezó a
and
darse
slight
cuenta de
right,
que la tierra
opens
que
of a crest,
ocupaban era
50,
prácticamente inferta, por lo que para producir
6
un alimento
left,
básico
tightens,
esencial
50,
tenían que importar.
3
De
right,
ahí que los estados
100,
griegos tuvieran que colonizar el mundo que les rodeaba. La ciudad-estado
6 left of the
Mileto, en
crest,
su auge, tenía más de 90 colonias por toda Europa que
and 3
producían
right,
alimentos
onto
para los
tarmac,
griegos.
30,
Los
6 left
griegos
of the
habían
crest,
establecido
to 6
colonias
right,
desde la actual
40,
Marsella, en Francia, hasta el Rostov del Don en Rusia.
turn 3 left of a crest, 90, caution,
Según
6
cuenta
right,
la
long,
leyenda,
tightens,
Rómulo y Remo eran hermanos gemelos, abandonados por sus padres
slight left of
y
a crest,
arrojados al río a
70,
su suerte. Mientras
3
la
left
cesta
short, cut,
nadaba por el
40,
río, una loba descubrió a los dos huérfanos
6
y los
left,
cuidó
slowing,
hasta que
30,
recuperaron la
turn
salud.
1 left, 60,
Cuando Rómulo y Remo se hicieron adultos, decidieron buscar la ciudad
4
donde la
right,
loba los
30.
rescató. Sin embargo, esto creó confusión, ya que ambos hermanos querían que el lugar llevara su nombre, por lo que
Long
Rómulo
crest,
y Remo
onto
lucharon
Collins.
sin descanso.
late 4 right, half
Finalmente
long,
Rómulo
50,
aceptó el golpe definitivo y
late 4
mató a
left,
Remo,
tightens,
creando
40,
Roma en el año 753 a.C. Mientras las
crest,
ciudades
slowing,
estadounidenses
80,
colonizaban, Ciro el Grande
turn,
estaba a
square
punto de
right of a
conquistar el
crest,
imperio.
onto gravel,
En aquella época los persas estaban
30,
sometidos al
5
mandato del
left,
imperio
5
mongol.
right, over
Según la
bump,
leyenda,
60,
después de que naciera su nieto Ciro, el rey Astiages
left
de
of a
los
crest,
Mairis tuvo un
slowing,
sueño vívido
100,
en el que su pequeño
2
nieto
right
algún
short,
día organizaría
70,
una revuelta
6
contra él.
right, tightens of a
El rey
crest,
Astiages sabía qué hacer y ordenó a su principal consejero que matara al bebé, pero este lo entregó a un pastor para que lo criara.
into crest, caution, sudden 1
Los problemas
left,
no habían
half long,
terminado para
opens,
Ciro.
6 left of a
Tenía 10
crest,
años y el rey
50,
Astiages encontró al niño. El rey Astiages
5
quería
right,
matarlo
past
porque el sueño
junction,
fue muy
60,
claro.
left of a
Este
crest,
hombre
to
se
slight
revelará
right,
pronto.
50,
Sin embargo, en contra de su sentido
late
común,
3 left,
Ciro se le
6 right
permitió
of a crest,
el mayor
30,
error del rey Astiages.
3 right,
Cuando Ciro
opens,
se hizo hombre, reunió a su
into
ejército
crest,
y se rebeló
and
contra
6
su
left of a
abuelo.
crest, to slight
Pero tal y
right,
como decía la profecía,
to late 3 left,
Astiages se rindió
tightens,
en el
30,
550
long
a.C.
crest,
Sin
120,
embargo, Ciro no había terminado su conquista. Conquistó Babilonia y se convirtió en el gobernante supremo de Mesopotamia e incluso de la civilización
6
del Valle
left,
del
60, slowing, 5 left of a crest, half long, tightens,
Ciro se
and 2
apoderó
right,
entonces de la colonia
100,
griega de Jonia en Asia Menor,
slight
liderando
left,
un gran
slowing,
imperio persa,
50,
y luego murió, dejándolo todo en el aire para el siguiente
crest,
gran rey
40,
persa,
turn
Darío
square
el
left,
Grande.
into 4 right, to 5 left of a crest,
De vuelta en Grecia, varias ciudades-estado comenzaron a ganar poder. pero dos de ellas,
And
Esparta
4
y
left,
Atenas,
Titans,
estaban a la
50.
vanguardia.
1
Esparta
right,
era una potencia militar. Los famosos
130,
espartanos creían que
slowing.
todo debía centrarse en la fuerza física y la guerra.
1 right,
Así
half
un nuevo
long,
joven espartano
30,
era
6 left of
sacrificado
crest,
si no parecía.
Titans 3.
Los niños eran apartados de su familia a una edad temprana y entrenados para convertirse en soldados. El brutal entrenamiento incluía
Into crest,
preparación física,
80.
entrenamiento con armas,
3
y
left
las
sharp,
condiciones de vida.
50.
Toda la vida de un espartano consistía en ganar
Turn,
una guerra.
1 left short,
Su sociedad lo
widens,
refleja
onto
con tres
tarmac,
grupos
into slight
principales.
right,
La clase
60,
gobernante
bridge,
estaba formada por
50.
aristócratas que ostentaban el poder político. Los no ciudadanos libres
6
a los que
right,
no se
half
permitía
long, 80.
participar en el gobierno, pero de los que se esperaba que sirvieran en el ejército, y los ilotes, un
Late
grupo de
4
personas
left, half long,
esclavizadas que
don't cut.
proporcionaban mano de obra al Estado espartano.
60,
La
6
vida en
right,
Esparta era
half
dura,
long,
brutal
Titans,
y
slowing,
militarista.
70. Turn, late, hairpin right, onto
Mientras
gravel,
sus vecinos del norte experimentaban con esta idea de democracia,
100.
la democracia ateniense era un caos muy complicado. Había dos ramas, el Consejo de los 500 y la
6 left of the crest,
El
very
Consejo de
long,
los 500 fue elegido al azar mediante un
Titans
proceso
4.
conocido como insaculación. La propia Atenas estaba formada
Into
por
3
10
right,
tribus diferentes.
into
Cada
crest,
tribu era
into 5
responsable de
left,
proporcionar
50.
50 ciudadanos para servir durante un
3
año en
left
el
of the
Consejo
crest,
de los
60.
500 mediante una selección aleatoria. Cada
Long crest,
ciudadano elegible recibía una ficha personalizada. Esas fichas se insertaban en una máquina particular llamada criterio. Esta tecnología, perdida hace mucho tiempo, incluía tubos y pelotas
and
que de
1
algún
right,
modo
don't
seleccionaban
cut, into
50
left of the crest,
residentes de cada
and
tribu
1 left short,
para formar parte
30.
del ilustre Consejo de los 500. Mientras que en la
Late, hairpin
asamblea
left,
había un sistema
and
que
2
decía
right,
que cada
opens.
ciudadano tenía un voto. Por supuesto, para ser ciudadano había que ser varón y no esclavo, y haber nacido
And
en
1
Atenas o
left,
ser de
don't
padres
cut.
atenienses. El Consejo
And
de los
3
500
right,
crearía la
half
agenda
long,
para la votación
120,
de la asamblea
slowing.
principal, porque más de 30.000 personas podrían tener un voto en un momento dado. Era un caos total. Así que para sofocarlo, el
Late,
Consejo
square
nombraba
right,
nuevo
half
presidente de la
long,
mañana de la
30,
reunión.
3
Y
left,
su trabajo
don't
consistía
cut,
en
to 5 right
asegurarse
of
de
the
que se
crest.
cumplían todas las normas y procesos. Como eran nombrados justo antes de que se reuniera la asamblea, era casi imposible sobornarlos. De alguna manera la asamblea votaba en voz alta si se aprobaba un
30,
proyecto de ley.
6
Votaban
left,
asuntos como el nombramiento de generales,
to 4 right
diversas
of the
leyes
crest,
y
into
demás
square left
burocracia
short,
gubernamental.
and slight
Sin embargo,
right,
no a todo el
70.
mundo le gustaba esta democracia ateniense. El famoso filósofo griego Platón pensaba que la idea era vana. En el sexto
5
libro
right
de
of
su
the
obra
crest,
fundamental,
40.
La República,
2
Platón
right,
escribe que el
into 6
verdadero
left,
navegante
into
debe
crest.
estudiar las estaciones del año, el cielo,
And late,
las
3
estrellas,
left,
los vientos
40.
y todas las demás materias propias de su profesión. Si realmente es
6
apto para
right.
controlar la nave, piensa que es del todo imposible adquirir la
Titans 3,
destreza profesional
30.
necesaria para tal
1 left,
control.
30.
¿No existe el arte de la navegación? ¿Cuánto podría saber
2
realmente
right,
un miembro
into
del
crest,
Consejo de los
90.
500 elegido al azar? ¿Cuánto podría aportar plenamente a la sociedad? ¿Deberíamos permitir que un miembro aleatorio de la sociedad tuviera algún poder? En su lugar, Platón
4
abogaba por la
left,
idea de un rey
into 6
filósofo,
right of the crest,
un hombre que
and
estudie la
left of the crest,
sabiduría, la
slowing,
lógica
80.
y el razonamiento. Un hombre que dedique su
1
vida a
left,
comprender
and
cómo
slight
ser un
right,
hombre que se
Titans
convierta
2
en un
and
navegante
2
de la
left.
sabiduría. Platón decía más bien que la sociedad que
turn
hemos
heavy
descrito
right.
nunca podrá hacerse realidad ni ver la luz del día, y que
50.
no habrá fin a los problemas de los estados, o de hecho, mi querido Glaucón, de la propia
Left
humanidad.
of the crest,
Hasta que
80.
los filósofos se conviertan en gobernantes de este mundo, hasta que los que ahora llamamos reyes y gobernantes se
Overfinish to
conviertan
stop.
verdaderamente en filósofos, y el poder político y la filosofía lleguen así a las mismas manos. Solo hay un problema con la cita de Platón. Todos los líderes se creen
Okay.
que filósofos.
That's an
Todos
11 minute,
piensan que sus pensamientos son
33.4.
mejores. Todo el mundo piensa que sus ideas son las más sabias, desde Yu el Grande en China a los libaneses del Imperio Hitita, pasando por Siddhartha Gautama del reino de Magadha en la India. Mientras tanto, no tan lejos, en el reino indio de Magadha, un príncipe mimado llamado Siddhartha Gautama, en el año 500 a.C., vivía en el lujo dentro de un palacio. Dentro de este palacio, Siddhartha podía tener todo lo que quisiera, todas las joyas, todas las riquezas, todos los bienes más finos a su alcance. Su mundo dentro del palacio era una utopía en la tierra. No hay carencia, necesidad o deseo. Y era perfecto hasta que salió de su palacio, el único lugar que conocía. Cuando dio sus primeros pasos fuera de su palacio, lo que vio le impactó. Vio a un anciano moribundo justo en la calle de enfrente. Se dio cuenta de que la experiencia humana no era algo perfecto y sublime. Por el contrario, era la muerte. Como Gilgamesh comprendió hace muchos años, era una parte inevitable de la experiencia humana. Siddhartha dejó atrás su vida de lujo y comenzó una búsqueda del conocimiento y la iluminación. Estudió con maestros espirituales y meditó durante muchos años, buscando respuestas a las grandes preguntas de la vida. Finalmente, tras 6 años de búsqueda, se sentó bajo una higuera y meditó hasta alcanzar la iluminación. La iluminación es un estado de paz interior, en el que trascendemos las limitaciones del ego y entramos en contacto con una conciencia universal o esencia divina. No es algo fijo y permanente, sino un proceso continuo de crecimiento y desarrollo. Pero bajo aquella higuera, Siddhartha llegó a ser conocido como el Buda o el despierto. Pasaría el resto de su vida viajando por el campo, acercándose a la iluminación. Darío estaba decidido a seguir los pasos de su padre y apoderarse del mundo. Después de finalizar su dominio sobre la ciudad-estado de Jonia, los persas estaban en una búsqueda para apoderarse de Grecia. Darío y sus 20.000 hombres llegaron, en el año 490 a.C., a la ciudad de Maratón, ubicada a 26,2 millas de Atenas. Los atenienses eran ampliamente superados en número, contando con solo 10.000 hombres. Mientras los persas trataban de reagruparse, los poderosos hoplitas griegos aplastaron a los más débiles soldados persas de a pie, desbordando los flancos antes de girar hacia el centro de la línea persa. El resto del ejército persa huyó a sus barcos y abandonó la batalla. Los primeros historiadores creen que en el campo de batalla quedaron 6.400 cadáveres persas, mientras que los atenienses solo perdieron 192. Así que los persas se retiraron, y un mensajero ateniense llamado Feidípides recorrió las 26,2 millas que separaban Maratón de Atenas. Exclamando con alegría cómo los atenienses acababan de vencer al poderoso imperio persa, toda Atenas enloqueció con esta fantástica noticia. Y ahí que la histórica caminata de Feidípides pasara a la historia como el primer maratón del mundo. Sin embargo, los persas no habían tenido suficiente ni siquiera con la muerte de Darío I en circunstancias misteriosas. Su hijo, Jerjes I, consiguió la corona y quiso completar el legado de su abuelo. En el año 480 a.C., Jerjes I quería venganza, así que trajo su enorme fuerza de invasión de más de 100.000 soldados y estaba decidido a conquistar Grecia. Entonces, en un estrecho paso de las Termópilas, el rey espartano Leónidas hizo que su fuerza de 7.000 espartanos mantuviera la defensa. Leónidas conocía su desventaja y desarrolló un plan audaz y atrevido para derrotar a los persas. En lugar de esperar a que los persas atacaran, Leónidas ordenó a sus soldados atacar por sorpresa el campamento persa, agarrándolos desprevenidos y desbaratando su formación. A pesar de su éxito, el ejército griego se vio desbordado por los persas, que atacaron desde todos los flancos y acabaron rompiendo las defensas griegas. Leónidas y sus soldados lucharon con valor y determinación. Aún así, acabaron siendo derrotados. Luego llegó la batalla de Salamina, donde los griegos pudieron cambiar el rumbo de la guerra en una batalla naval entre las 500 tirremes persas y las 300 tirremes griegas. No pintaba bien para los griegos. Aún así, el gran general ateniense Temístocles empleó su plan para desplazar a la flota persa hasta el estrecho de Salamina y golpeó a la flota enemiga con tanta fuerza que no tuvo dónde retirarse. Tras una batalla naval masiva, Temístocles consiguió la victoria para Grecia y cambió la faz de la guerra. Los persas aún tenían como objetivo
Hello, dear readers. As the second book to read this year, I've chosen another New York Times bestseller, The Midnight Library. I really like the concept of this book because it's something I've always been wondering about. Today, I'm reading in our garden. Let's begin. The Midnight Library. I can never be all the people I want and live all the lives I want. I can never train myself in all the skills I want. And why do I want? I want to live and feel all the shades, tones, and variations of mental and physical experience possible in my life. Between life and death, there's a library, she said. And within that library, the shelves go on forever. Every book provides a chance to try another life you could have lived, to see how things would be if you had made other choices. Would you have done anything different if you had the chance to undo your regrets? The book is divided into these mini chapters and makes it easier to read. The first part is a conversation about rain. 19 years before she decided to die, Nora Seed sat in the warmth of the small library at Hazelden School in the town of Bedford. She sat at a low table staring at a chessboard. "Nora, dear, it's natural to worry about your future," said the librarian, Mrs. Elm, her eyes twinkling. Mrs. Elm made her first move, a knight hopping over the neat row of white pawns. "Of course you are going to be worried about the exams, but you could be anything you want to be, Nora. Think of all the possibility. It's exciting." "Yes, I suppose it is. A whole life in front of you. A whole life. You could do anything, live anywhere, somewhere a bit less cold and wet." Nora pushed the pawn forward 2 spaces. It was hard not to compare Mrs. Elm to her mother, who treated Nora like a mistake in need of correction. For instance, when she was a baby, her mother had been so worried Nora's left ear stuck out more than her right that she'd used the sticky tape to address the situation, then disguised it beneath a woolen bonnet. "I hate the cold and wet," added Mrs. Elm for emphasis. Mrs. Elm had short gray hair and a kind and mildly crinkled oval face sitting pale above her turtle green polo neck. She was quite old, but she was also the person most on Nora's wavelength in the entire school, and even on days when it wasn't raining, she would spend her afternoon break in the small library. "Coldness and wetness don't always go together," Nora told her. "Antarctica is the driest continent on Earth. Technically, it's a desert." "Well, that sounds up your street." "I don't think it's far enough away." "Well, maybe you should be an astronaut, travel the galaxy." Nora smiled. "The rain is even worse on other planets." "Worse than Bedfordshire?" "On Venus, it is pure acid." Mrs. Elm pulled a paper tissue from her sleeve and delicately blew her nose. "See, with a brain like yours, you can do anything." A blond boy Nora recognized from a couple of years below her ran past outside the rain-speckled window, either chasing someone or being chased. Since her brother had left, she'd felt a bit unguarded out there. The library was a little shelter of civilization. "Dad thinks I've thrown everything away. Now I've stopped swimming." "Well, far be it from me to say, but there's more to this world than swimming really fast. There are many different possible lives ahead of you. Like I said last week, you could be a glaciologist. I've been researching and it was then that the phone rang. "1 minute," said Mrs. Elm softly. "I'd better get that." A moment later, Nora watched Mrs. Elm on the phone. "Yes, she's here now." The librarian's face fell in shock. She turned away from Nora, but her words were audible across the hushed room. "Oh no, no, oh my God, of course." 19 years later, the man at the door. 27 hours before she decided to die, Nora Seed sat on her dilapidated sofa scrolling through other people's happy lives, waiting for something to happen. And then, out of nowhere, something actually did. Someone, for whatever peculiar reason, rang her doorbell. She wondered for a moment if she shouldn't get the door at all. She was, after all, already in her night clothes, even though it was only 9 p.m. She felt self-conscious about her oversized eco-warrior t-shirt and her tartan pajama bottoms. She put on her slippers to be slightly more civilized and discovered that the person at the door was a man, and one she recognized. He was tall and gangly and boyish, with a kind face, but his eyes were sharp and bright, like they could see through things. It was good to see him, if a little surprising, especially as he was wearing sports gear and he looked hot and sweaty despite the cold, rainy weather. The juxtaposition between them made her feel more slovenly than she had done 5 seconds earlier. But she'd been feeling lonely, and though she'd studied enough existential philosophy to believe loneliness was a fundamental part of being a human in an essentially meaningless universe, it was good to see him. "Ash," she said, smiling. "It's Ash, isn't it?" "Yes, it is." "What are you doing here? It's good to see you." A few weeks ago, she'd been sat playing her electric piano. He'd ran down Bancroft Avenue and had seen her in the window here at 33A and given her a little wave. He had once, years ago, asked her out for a coffee. Maybe he was about to do that again. "It's good to see you too," he said, but his tense forehead didn't show it. When she'd spoken to him in the shop, he'd always sounded breezy, but now his voice contained something heavy. He scratched his brow, made another sound, but didn't quite manage a full word. "You running?" A pointless question. He was clearly out for a run, but he seemed relieved, momentarily, to have something trivial to say. "Yeah, I'm doing the Bedford half. It's this Sunday." "Oh, right. Great. I was thinking of doing a half marathon and then I remembered I hate running." This had sounded funnier in her head than it did as actual words being vocalized out of her mouth. She didn't even hate running, but still she was perturbed to see the seriousness of his expression. The silence went beyond awkward into something else. "You told me you had a cat," he said eventually. "Yes, I have a cat." I remembered his name, Voltaire, a ginger tabby. "Yeah, I call him Volts." He finds Voltaire a bit pretentious. "It turns out he's quite down to earth, you know, for a cat." Ash looked down at her slippers. "I'm afraid I think he's dead." "What?" "He's lying very still by the side of the road. I saw the name on the collar. I think a car might have hit him. I'm sorry, Nora." She was so scared of her sudden switch in emotions right then that she kept smiling, as if the smile could keep her in the world she had just been in, the one where Volts was alive, and where this man she'd sold guitar songbooks to had rang her doorbell for another reason. Ash, she remembered, was a surgeon, not a veterinary one, a general human one. If he said something was dead, it was, in all probability, dead. "I'm so sorry." Nora had a familiar sense of grief, only the sertraline stopped her crying. Oh God. She stepped out into the wet, cracked paving slabs of Bancroft Avenue, hardly breathing, and saw the poor ginger-furred creature laying on the rain-glossed tarmac beside the curb. His head grazed the side of the pavement, and his legs were back as if in mid-gallop, chasing some imaginary bird. Oh, Volts. Oh no. Oh God. She knew she should be experiencing pity and despair for her villain friend, and she was, but she had to acknowledge something else. As she stared at Voltaire's still and peaceful expression, that total absence of pain, there was an inescapable feeling brewing in the darkness. Envy. String theory. 9.5 hours before she decided to die, Nora arrived late for her afternoon shift at a string theory. "I'm sorry," she told Neil, in the scruffy little windowless box of an office. "My cat died last night. I had to bury him. Well, someone helped me bury him. But then I was left alone in my flat and couldn't sleep and forgot to set the alarm and didn't wake up till midday and then had to rush." This was all true, and she imagined her appearance, including makeup-free face, loose makeshift ponytail, and the same second-hand green corduroy pinafore dress she had worn to work all week, garnished with a general air of tired despair, would back her up. Neil looked up from his computer and leaned back in his chair. He joined his hands together and made a steeple of his index fingers, which he placed under his chin, as if he was Confucius contemplating a deep philosophical truth about the universe rather than the boss of a musical equipment shop dealing with a late employee. There was a massive Fleetwood Mac poster on the wall behind him, the top right corner of which had come unstuck and flopped down like a puppy's ear. "Listen, Nora, I like you." Neil was harmless, a 50-something guitar aficionado who liked cracking bad jokes and playing passable old Dylan covers live in the store. And I know you got mental health stuff. Everyone's got mental health stuff. You know what I mean. I'm feeling much better, generally, she lied. It's not clinical. The doctor says it's situational depression. It's just that I keep on having new situations. But I haven't taken a day off sick for it all. Apart from when my mom... Yeah, apart from that. Neil sighed. When he did so, he made a whistling sound out of his nose. An ominous B-flat. Nora, how long have you worked here? 12 years and... She knew this too well. 11 months and 3 days, on and off. That's a long time. I feel like you are made for better things. You're in your late 30s. I'm 35. You've got so much going for you. You teach people piano. One person. He brushed a crumb off his sweater. Did you picture yourself stuck in your hometown working in a shop? You know, when you were 14? What did you picture yourself as? At 14, a swimmer. She'd been the fastest 14-year-old girl in the country at breaststroke and second fastest at freestyle. She remembered standing on a podium at the National Swimming Championships. So, what happened? She gave the short version. It was a lot of pressure. Pressure makes us, though. You start off as coal and the pressure makes you a diamond. She didn't correct his knowledge of diamonds. She didn't tell him that while coal and diamonds are both carbon, coal is too impure to be able, under whatever pressure, to become a diamond. According to science, you start off as coal and you end up as coal. Maybe that was the real life lesson. She smoothed the stray strand of her coal-black hair toward her ponytail. What are you saying, Neil? It's never too late to pursue a dream. Pretty sure it is too late to pursue that one. You're a well-qualified person, Nora. A degree in philosophy. Nora stared down at a small mole on her left hand. That mole had been through everything she'd been through. And it just stayed there, not caring. Just being a mole. Not a massive demand for philosophers in Bedford, if I'm honest, Neil. You went to uni, had a year in London, then came back. I didn't have much of a choice. Nora didn't want a conversation about her dead mom, or even Dan, because Neil had found Nora's backing out of a wedding with 2 days' notice the most fascinating love story since Kurt and Courtney. We all have choices, Nora. There is such a thing as free will. Well, not if you subscribe to a deterministic view of the universe. But why here? It was either here or the Animal Rescue Center. This paid better, plus, you know, music. You were in a band with your brother. I was, the Labyrinths. We weren't really going anywhere. Your brother tells a different story. This took Nora by surprise. Joe, how do you... He bought an amp, Marshall DSL-40. When? Friday. He was in Bedford? Unless it was a hologram, like Tupac. He was probably visiting Ravi, Nora thought. Ravi was her brother's best friend. While Joe had given up the guitar and moved to London for a crap IT job he hated, Ravi had stuck to Bedford. He played in a covers band now called Slaughterhouse 4, doing pub gigs around town. Right, that's interesting. Nora was pretty certain her brother knew Friday was her day off. The fact prodded her from inside. I'm happy here. Except you aren't. He was right. A soul sickness festered within her. Her mind was throwing itself up. She widened her smile. I mean, I am happy with the job. Happy as in, you know, satisfied. Neil, I need this job. You're a good person. You worry about the world, the homeless, the environment. I need a job. He was back in his Confucius pose. You need freedom. I don't want freedom. This isn't a non-profit organization, though I have to say it is rapidly becoming one. Look, Neil, is this about what I said the other week? About you needing to modernize things? I've got some ideas about how to get younger people. No, he said defensively. This place used to just be guitars, a string theory, get it? I diversified, made this work. It's just that when times are tough, I can't pay you to put off customers with your face looking like a wet weekend. What? I'm afraid, Nora. He paused for a moment, about the time it takes to lift an axe into the air. I'm going to have to let you go. To live is to suffer. 9 hours before she decided to die, Nora wandered around Bedford aimlessly. The town was a conveyor belt of despair. The pebble-dashed sports center where her dead dad once watched her swim length of the pool, the Mexican restaurant where she'd taken Dan for fajitas, the hospital where her mom had her treatment. Dan had texted her yesterday, "Nora, I miss your voice. Can we talk?" She'd said she was stupidly hectic. Big LOL. Yet it was impossible to text anything else, not because she didn't still feel for him, but because she did, and couldn't risk hurting him again. She'd ruined his life. "My life is chaos," he told her via drunk text shortly after the would-be wedding she'd pulled out of 2 days before. The universe tended towards chaos and entropy. That was basic thermodynamics. Maybe it was basic existence too. You lose your job, then more shit happens. The wind whispered through the trees. It began to rain. She headed towards the shelter of a newsagent's with the deep and, as it happened, correct sense that things were about to get worse. Doors. 8 hours before she decided to die, Nora entered the newsagent's. "Sheltering from the rain?" the woman behind the counter asked. Yes, Nora kept her head down, her despair growing like a weight she couldn't carry. A National Geographic was on display. As she stared now at the magazine cover, an image of a black hole, she realized that's what she was, a black hole, a dying star collapsing in on itself. Her dad used to subscribe. She remembered being enthralled by an article about Svalbard, the Norwegian archipelago in the Arctic Ocean. She'd never seen a place that looked so far away. She'd read about scientists doing research among glaciers and frozen fjords and puffins. Then, prompted by Mrs. Elm, she decided she wanted to be a glaciologist. She saw the scruffy, hunched form of her brother's friend and their own former bandmate, Ravi, by the music mags, engrossed in an article. She stood there for a fraction too long, because when she walked away, she heard him say, "Nora?" "Ravi, hi. I hear Joe was in Bedford the other day." A small nod. "Yeah. Did you see him?" "I actually did." A silence Nora felt as pain. "He didn't tell me he was coming. Was just a flyby. Is he okay?" Ravi paused. Nora had once liked him, and he'd been a loyal friend to her brother, but, as with Joe, there was a barrier between them. They hadn't parted on the best of terms. He'd thrown his drumsticks on the floor of a rehearsal room and stropped out when Nora told him she was out of the band. "I think he's depressed." Nora's mind grew heavier at the idea her brother might feel like she did. "He's not himself," Ravi went on, anger in his voice. "He's going to have to move out of his shoebox in Shepherd's Bush. What with him not being able to play lead guitar in a successful rock band. Mind you, I've got no money either. Pub gigs don't pay these days, even when you agree to clean the toilets. Ever cleaned pub toilets, Nora? I'm having a pretty shit time too if we're doing the Misery Olympics." Ravi cough-laughed. A hardness momentarily shadowed his face. The world's smallest violin is playing. She wasn't in the mood. "Is this about the labyrinth still? It meant a lot to me and to your brother, to all of us. We had a deal with Universal right there. Albums, singles, tour, promo. We could be Coldplay now. You hate Coldplay." "Not the point. We could be in Malibu, instead Bedford. And so, no, your brother's not ready to see you." "I was having panic attacks. I'd have let everyone down in the end. I told the label to take you on without me. I agreed to write the songs. It wasn't my fault I was engaged. I was with Dan. It was kind of a deal breaker." "Well, yeah, how did that work out?" "Ravi, this isn't fair." "Fair. Great word." The woman behind the counter gawped with interest. "Bands don't last. Would have been a meteor shower, over before we started." "Meteor showers are fucking beautiful." "Come on, you're still with Ella, aren't you?" "And I could be with Ella and in a successful band with money. We had that chance right there." He pointed to the palm of his hand. "Our songs were fire." Nora hated herself for silently correcting the hour to "my." "I don't think your problem was a stage fright or wedding fright. I think your problem was life fright. This hurt. The words took the air out of her. And I think your problem, she retaliated, voice trembling, is blaming others for your shitty life. He nodded, as if slapped, put his magazine back. See you around, Nora. Tell Joe I said hi, she said, as he walked out of the shop and into the rain. Please. She caught sight of the cover of Your Cat magazine. A ginger tabby. Her mind felt loud, like a Sturm and Drang symphony, as if the ghost of a German composer was trapped inside her mind, conjuring chaos and intensity. The woman behind the counter said something to her mist. Sorry? Nora Seed? The woman, blonde bob bottle tan, was happy and casual and relaxed in a way Nora no longer knew how to be, leaning over the counter on her forearms as if Nora was a lemur at the zoo. Yep. I'm Carrie Ann. Remember you from school. The swimmer. Super brain. Didn't what's-his-face Mr. Blandford do an assembly on you once? Said you were going to end up at the Olympics. Nora nodded. So, did you? I, gave it up. Was more into music at the time. Then life happened. So what do you do now? I'm between things. Got anyone then? Bloke? Kids? Nora shook her head, wishing it would fall off, her own head, onto the floor, so she never had to have a conversation with a stranger ever again. Well, don't hang about. Tick-tock, tick-tock. I'm 35. She wished Izzy was there. Izzy never put up with any of this kind of shit. And I'm not sure I want... Me and Jake were like rabbits, but we got there. 2 little terrors, but worth it. You know, I just feel complete. I could show you some pictures. I get headaches with phones. Dan had wanted kids. Nora didn't know. She'd been petrified of motherhood. The fear of a deeper depression. She couldn't look after herself, let alone anyone else. Still in Bedford then? Mm-hmm. Thought you'd be one who got away. I came back. My mom was ill. Oh, sorry to hear that. Hope she's okay now? I better go. But it's still raining. As Nora escaped the shop, she wished there were nothing but doors ahead of her, which she could walk through one by one, leaving everything behind. How to be a black hole. 7 hours before she decided to die, Nora was in a free fall and she had no one to talk to. Her last hope was her former best friend Izzy, who was over 10,000 miles away in Australia, and things had dried up between them too. She took out her phone and sent Izzy a message. Hi Izzy, long time no chat. Miss you, friend. Would be wondrous to catch up, X. She added another X and sent it. Within a minute, Izzy had seen the message. Nora waited in vain for 3 dots to appear. She passed the cinema where a new Ryan Bailey film was playing tonight, a corny cowboy rom-com called Last Chance Saloon. Ryan Bailey's face seemed to always know deep and significant things. Nora had loved him ever since she'd watched him play a brooding Plato in The Athenians on TV, and since he'd said in an interview that he'd studied philosophy, she'd imagined them having deep conversations about Henry David Thoreau through a veil of steam in his West Hollywood hot tub. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams, Thoreau had said. Live the life you've imagined. Thoreau had been her favorite philosopher to study, but who seriously goes confidently in the direction of their dreams? Well, apart from Thoreau. He'd gone and lived in the woods with no contact from the outside world, to just sit there and write and chop wood and fish. But life was probably simpler 2 centuries ago in Concord, Massachusetts, than modern life in Bedford, Bedfordshire. Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe she was just really crap at it, at life. Whole hours passed by. She wanted to have a purpose, something to give her a reason to exist. But she had nothing, not even the small purpose of picking up Mr. Banerjee's medication as she had done that 2 days ago. She tried to give a homeless man some money, but realized she had no money. Cheer up, love, it might never happen, someone said. Nothing ever did, she thought to herself. That was the whole problem. Antimatter. 5 hours before she decided to die, as she began walking home, her phone vibrated in her hand. Maybe it was Izzy, maybe Ravi had told her brother to get in touch. No. Oh, hi Doreen. An agitated voice. Where were you? She'd totally forgotten. What time is it? I've had a really crap day, I'm so sorry. We waited outside your flat for an hour. I can still do Leo's lesson when I get back. I'll be 5 minutes. Too late, he's with his dad now for 3 days. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. She was a waterfall of apologies. She was drowning in herself. To be honest, Nora, he's been thinking about giving up altogether. But he's so good. He's really enjoyed it, but he's too busy. Exams, mates, football. Something has to give. He has a real talent. I've got him into bloody Chopin. Please. A deep, deep sigh. Bye, Nora. Nora imagined the ground opening up, sending her down through the lithosphere and the mantle, not stopping until she reached the inner core, compressed into a hard, unfeeling metal. 4 hours before she decided to die, Nora passed her elderly neighbor, Mr. Banerjee. Mr. Banerjee was 84 years old. He was frail, but was slightly more mobile since his hip surgery. It's terrible out there, isn't it? Yes, mumbled Nora. He glanced at his flower bed. The irises are out, though. She looked at the clusters of purple flowers, forcing a smile as she wondered what possible consolation they could offer. His eyes were tired behind their spectacles. He was at his door, fumbling for keys, a bottle of milk in a carrier bag that seemed too heavy for him. It was rare to see him out of his house, a house she had visited during her first month here, to help him set up an online grocery shop. Oh, he said now, I have some good news. I don't need you to collect my pills anymore. The boy from the chemist has moved nearby and he says he will drop them off. Nora tried to reply but couldn't get the words out. She nodded instead. He managed to open the door, then closed it, retreating into his shrine to his dear dead wife. That was it. No one needed her. She was superfluous to the universe. Once inside her crowd, the silence was louder than noise.
Slowly, slight left, 50, left of the crest, onto tarmac, and 5 right, long tightens, up crest, and late 3 left, 110.
And stared at the rest of the girls, wondering. 3 hours before she decided
70.
To die, her whole being ached with
slowing,
as
left
if the
of the crest,
despair in her
50,
mind was somehow
late 3 left, long, tightens.
As if it had colonized
40,
every
slight
part of
right,
her.
tightens
It
4,
reminded her
very
that
long,
everyone
keep
was
in,
better off
70.
without her. You get near a black hole, and the gravitational pull
Late
drags
3
you
left,
into
half
dark,
long,
dark
60.
reality. The thought was like a
2
ceaseless
right,
mind
don't cut.
something too uncomfortable to bear, yet too strong to avoid. Nora went through her social media. No messages, no comments, no new followers, no friend
left of a crest,
requests.
120.
She was
Good luck.
antimatter with added self-pity. She went on Instagram and saw everyone had worked out how to live, except her. She posted a rambling update on Facebook, which she didn't even really use anymore. 2 hours before she decided to die, she opened a bottle of wine. Old philosophy
5,
textbooks
4,
looked down at her,
3,
ghost furnishings from her university days,
Go.
when life
Left of a
still had
crest,
possibility.
120.
A yoga
Slowing,
plant and
slight
sitting
left,
tiny
50,
spot-spotted
left of a
platform.
crest, onto
She
tarmac,
imagined being
and
in
5 right,
sentient life
long
thing,
tightens,
sitting in the
and
park
crest,
all
and
day,
late 3 left,
probably
110.
feel the distance. She sat down at a little electric piano, but played nothing. She thought of sitting by Leo's side, teaching him Chopin's Prelude in E minor. Happy moments can turn into pain, given time. There was an old musician's cliche about how there were no wrong notes on a piano, but her life was a cacophony of nonsense, a piece that could have gone in wonderful directions, but now went nowhere at all. Time slipped by. She stared into space. After the wine, a realization hit her with total clarity. She wasn't made for this life. Every move had been a mistake, every decision a disaster, every day a retreat from who she'd imagined she'd be. Swimmer, musician, philosopher, spouse, traveler, glaciologist, happy, loved. Nothing. She couldn't even manage cat owner or 1 hour a week piano tutor or human capable of conversation. The tablets weren't working. She finished the wine,
Starts
all
left
of
of the
it.
crest.
I
120.
miss you,
Good luck.
she said into the air, as if the spirits of every person she'd loved were in the room with her. She called her brother and left a voicemail when he didn't pick up. I love you, Joe. I just wanted you to know that. There is nothing you could have done. This is about me. Thank you for being my brother. I love you.
5, 4,
It began to rain
3,
again, so she
2,
sat there with
1.
the blinds open.
Go left of the crest. 120. Slowing, slight left, 50 left of the crest, onto tarmac and 5 right, long, tightens and crest, and late 3 left, 110.
She found a pen and a piece of paper. It was, she decided, a very good
6
time.
left, 70.
Dear whoever, I had
Slowing,
all chances
left of the crest, 50. Late 3 left, long, tightens. 40, slight right, tightens 4, very long, keep in 70.
If I thought it was possible to stay,
Late 3 left, half long 60.
so I can't. I make life worse for
2 right, don't cut.
nothing to give. I'm sorry. Be kind to each other. Bye.
80, crest, 60. 6 right, tightens of a small jump, 130.
Until slowly she saw pillars appear on either side of her. She was standing
Slight
on a path,
left,
some kind
long,
of
into right of a crest,
The columns were
170,
framed
slowing.
with specks of
Late
green
3 left, half
The
long,
misty way
80.
was cleared.
6 left of the crest, half long, 50.
And the shape emerged, a solid rectangular shape. The
3
shape of a
right,
dimple,
opens half long,
about the size of a
into
church.
crest, 40.
It had a smooth,
Late 3 right of a crest, 220.
with a large wooden central door and a roof which had aspirations of grandeur, with intricate details and a grand
Late 4 left, slowing, 70, crest,
black
60.
numeral,
Turn square right, onto gravel,
tall dark arched windows.
70,
framed
right of
with
a crest,
stone legs,
160.
punctuated the front wall, equidistant from each other. When she first looked, it seemed there were only 4 windows, but a moment later, there were definitely 5 of them.
Right of the crest,
She thought she
slowing,
must have
60, crest,
As
sudden
there was
2
nothing
left,
else around,
70, 6 right of jump, 30.
Nora stepped cautiously towards it. She looked at the digital display of her watch. Midnight, as the
Slight
clock
left,
told her.
30,
She
bump,
waited for the next
50,
train to arrive,
6
but it
left,
didn't.
70,
Even as she
late 4
walked
right,
closer to the building,
tightens 3
even
over
as she
bumps,
opened the
don't
wooden
cut,
door,
and 2
even as
left,
she stepped
50,
inside,
5 left of the
display
crest.
didn't change. Either something was wrong with her watch, or something was wrong with
Into
her
slight
mind.
right, through
And the
dip, into
circumstances
crest,
could have
into 6
defined
left,
what's
70.
happening, she wondered.
Late 3 left,
What the hell is
into
going on?
crest,
Maybe
and
this
right
place
of the crest,
was
40,
massive,
1 right,
as she
half
walked
long,
inside. The place was well lit.
into slight left of the crest, into slight
Somewhere
right,
between
70.
light yellow and camel black, like the color of an old painting. But the windows she had seen on the outside were there.
Slowing dip, into 3 left of the crest, tightens, 30, square right, and 6 left.
Instead, there were bookshelves, aisles and aisles of shelves reaching up to the ceiling and branching off from the broad open corridor Nora was walking down. She turned around one of the aisles and
crest,
to gaze
into slight right, 30, 6 left, of a bump, into jump, 50, crest, to 4 right, don't cut, into crest, to 3 left, through dip, and right of a crest,
screens of multifarious shades.
into 5 left of the crest,
Some a bright and light chartreuse, some a bold emerald, and others the verdant shade of summer lawns. And on the subject of summer lawns, despite the fact that the books looked old, the air in the library felt fresh. It had a lush, grassy outdoors kind of smell, not the
and
dusty
right of a
smell
crest,
of old
to 4
clothes.
left, through
The
dip,
shelves really did
tightens,
seem to go on forever, straight and long toward a far-off horizon, like lines indicating one point perspective.
and 4 right of a crest, half long, 30.
Only by the occasional corridor. She picked the corridor at random and set off. At the next turn, she took a left and became a little lost. She searched for a way out, but there was no sign of an exit. She attempted to retrace her steps towards the entrance, but it was impossible. Eventually, she had to conclude she wasn't going to find the exit. This is abnormal, she said to herself to find comfort in the sound of her own voice. Definitely abnormal. Nora stopped and stepped
left
closer
of crest,
to some of the
to
books.
slight right,
There was no
50.
titles or author names adorning the spines. Aside from the difference of shade, the only other variation was size. The books were of similar height but varied in width. Some had spines 2 inches
Slowing,
wide,
crest,
others
60.
significantly less. One or two
Late,
weren't much
hairpin
more
right.
than pamphlets. She reached to pull out one of the books, choosing a medium-sized one in a slightly drab olive color. It looked a bit dusty and worn. Before she had pulled it clean from the shelf, she heard a voice
And turn,
behind her
hairpin
and
left.
she jumped back. Be careful,
And 6 left,
the voice
it's a
said,
1 right short,
and Nora turned
70
around to
left of a
see who
crest.
was there. The librarian. Please, you have to be careful. The woman had arrived seemingly from nowhere, smartly dressed, with short grey hair and a toil green
Water splash.
polo neck jumper. About 60, if Nora had to pin it down. Who are you? But
At the
before she had
crest,
finished the
60.
question, she realized she already knew the answer. I'm the librarian, the woman said, coyly. That's who. Her face was one of kind but a stern wisdom. She had the same neat cropped grey hair she'd always had, with a face that looked precisely as it always did in Nora's mind. For there, right in front of her, was her oldest school librarian, Mrs. Elm. Mrs. Elm smiled cleanly.
Slowing,
Perhaps.
slight
Nora
left, into
remembered
right
the
of a
rain
crest,
afternoons
40,
playing
4
chess.
left short,
She
into
remembered
2
the
right
day her
sharp,
father died
40,
when
6
Mrs. Elm
left,
gently
opens
broke
long.
the news to her in the library. Her father had died suddenly of a heart attack
Tightens of a
while on
crest.
the rugby field of the boys' boarding
Into 5
school
right,
when he
slowing,
fought.
70,
She was numb for
hairpin
about
left.
half an hour and had stared blankly at the
30, 1 right short, 40,
reality
1 right
was
to the
seemingly
crest,
too
80,
big
we have
to
a puncture,
absorb at
8
first.
kilometers to go.
But then it had hit her hard and sideways, taking her off the track she'd known. She had hugged Mrs. Elm so close, crying into her polo neck, until her face was raw from the fusion of tears and acrid. Mrs. Elm had held her, stroking and smoothing the back of her head like a baby, not offering platitudes or false comfort or anything other than concern. She remembered Mrs. Elm's voice telling her at the time, "Things will get better, Nora. It's going to be all right." It was over an hour before Nora's mother came to pick her up, her brother stoned and numb in the backseat, and Nora had
3
sat
left
in the
sharp.
front next to her mute, trembling mother, saying that she loved her, but hearing nothing back. "What is this place? Where am I?" Mrs. Elm
And
smiled.
slight
with a
right,
very
opens of a
formal
crest,
smile.
50.
The library, of course. It's not the school library. There's no exit. Am I dead? Is this the afterlife? Not exactly, said Mrs. Elm. I don't understand. Then let me explain. The
6
Midnight
left,
Library.
tightens,
As she
50.
spoke, Mrs. Elm's eyes came alive, twinkling like puddles in
3
the moonlight.
right, 100.
Between life and death, there's a library, she said.
6 left
And
of a
within
crest.
that library, the shelves go on forever.
And 3 right,
Every book
onto tarmac,
provides a
30,
place
6 left of
another
a crest.
life you could have lived, to see how things would be different if you had made other choices. Would you have done anything different if you had the chance to undo your regrets? So, I am dead, Nora asked. Mrs. Elm shook her head. No, listen carefully. Between life and death. She gestured vaguely
Into
along
6
the
right,
aisle, towards the
40.
distance. Death is
Turn
out.
3 left of a
Well,
crest,
I should
90.
go there because I want to die, Nora began
Caution,
walking.
6 right,
But Mrs.
long
Elm shook her
tightens.
head. That isn't how death works. Why not? You don't go to death. Death comes to you. Even death was something Nora couldn't do properly, it seemed. It was a familiar feeling, this feeling of being incomplete in just about every sense, an unfinished jigsaw of a human, incomplete living and incomplete dying. So why am I not dead? Why has death not come to me? I gave it an open invitation. I'd wanted to die, but here I am, still existing. I'm still aware of things.
Into slight left of a
Well,
crest,
if it's
70.
any comfort, you are very possibly
3 left
about
short,
to
cut,
die.
40,
People who
6
pass by the
left,
library
slowing,
usually
30,
don't
turn,
stay long.
1 left,
One way or
60.
the other. When she thought about it, and increasingly she had been thinking about it, Nora was only able to think of herself in terms of things she wasn't, the things she hasn't been able to become, and there really were quite a
4
lot of
right,
things she hadn't
30.
become, the regrets which were on permanent repeat in her mind. I hadn't become an Olympic glaciologist. I haven't become Ben's wife.
Long
I
crest,
haven't become a
onto
mother.
cobbles,
I haven't become a
late
great
4
singer
right,
of the
half
Labyrinth.
long
I
50,
haven't managed to become a truly
late
good
4
or
left,
truly
tightens,
person.
40,
I haven't managed to look after Voltaire. And now, last of all, she hasn't
crest,
even managed to
slowing,
become dead.
80,
It was pathetic, really, the amount of possibilities.
turn, square
she had
right of the crest, onto gravel,
While the Midnight Library stands
30,
now,
5 left,
you wouldn't
5 right,
deserve
over
to
bump,
live.
60,
Now, you have to decide how you want
left
to
of the
live.
crest,
The
slowing,
moving
100,
shelves. The shelves
2
on
right
either
short,
side of Nora
70,
began to move.
6
The
right,
shelves didn't
tightens
change
of the
angle,
crest,
they
into
just
crest,
kept on sliding horizontally. It was possible that the shelves weren't moving at all, but the books were, and it wasn't
starts
obvious
left of the
why
crest,
or even
120,
how.
good luck.
There was no visible mechanism making it happen, and no sound or sight of books falling off the end, or rather the start of the shelf. The books slid by at varying degrees of slowness, depending on the shelf they were on, but none moved fast. What's happening? Mrs. Elm's expression stiffened and her posture straightened, her chin retreating into her neck. She took a step closer to Nora and clasped her hands together. It is time, my dear, to begin. If you don't mind me asking, begin what? Every life contains many millions of decisions, some big, some small. But every time one decision is taken over another, the outcomes differ. An irreversible variation occurs, which in turn leads to further variations. These books are portals to all the lives you could be living. What? You have as many lives as you have possibilities. There are lives where you make different choices, and those choices lead to different outcomes. If you had done just one thing differently, you would have a different life story, and they all exist in the Midnight Library. They're all as real as this life. Parallel lives? Not always parallel. Some are more perpendicular. So, do you want to live a life you could be living? Do you want to do something differently? Is there anything you wish to change? Did you do anything wrong? That was an easy one. Yes, absolutely everything. The answer seemed to tickle the librarian's nose. Mrs. Elm quickly rummaged for the paper tissue that was stuffed up inside the sleeve of her polo neck. She brought it quickly to her face and sneezed into it. "Bless you," said Nora, watching as the tissue disappeared from the librarian's hands the moment she'd finished using it, through some strange and hygienic magic. "Don't worry, tissues are like lives. There are always more." Mrs. Elm returned to her train of thoughts. Doing one thing differently is often the same as doing everything differently. Actions can't be reversed within a lifetime, however much we try. But you are no longer within a lifetime. You have popped outside. This is your opportunity, Nora, to see how things could be. This can't be real, Nora thought to herself. Mrs. Elm seemed to know what she was thinking. Oh, it is real, Nora said. But it is not quite reality as you understand it. For want of a better word, it is in between. It is not life, it is not death. It is not the real world in a conventional sense, but nor is it a dream. It isn't one thing or another. It is, in short, the Midnight Library. The slow-moving shelves came to a halt. Nora noticed that on one of the shelves to her right, at shoulder height, there was a large gap. All the other areas of the shelves around her had the books tightly pressed side by side, but here, lying flat on the thin white shelf, there was only one book. And this book wasn't green like the others, it was gray as the stone of the front of the library when she had seen it through the mist. Mrs. Elm took the book from the shelf and handed it to Nora. She had a slight look of anticipatory pride, as if she'd handed her a Christmas present. It had seemed light when Mrs. Elm was holding it, but it was far heavier than it looked. Nora went to open it. Mrs. Elm shook her hand. "You always have to wait for my say-so." "Why?" "Every book in here, every book in this entire library, except one, is a version of your life. This library is yours. It is here for you. You see, everyone's lives could have ended up an infinite number of ways. These books on the shelves are your life. all starting from the same point in time, right now, midnight, Tuesday the 28th of April. But these midnight possibilities aren't the same. Some are similar, some are very different. This is crackers, said Nora. Except one? This one? Nora tilted the stone gray book toward Mrs. Elm. Mrs. Elm raised an eyebrow. Yes, that one. It's something you have written without ever having to type a word. What? This book is the source of all your problems, and the answer to them too. But what is it? It is called, my dear, the Book of Regrets. The Book of Regrets. Nora stared at it. She could see it now, the small typeface embossed on the cover. The Book of Regrets. Every regret you ever had since the day you were born is recorded in here, Mrs. Elm said, tapping her finger on the cover. I now give you permission to open it. As the book was so heavy, Nora sat down cross-legged on the stone floor to do so. She began to skim through it. The book was divided into chapters, chronologically arranged around the years of her life, 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 35. The chapters got much longer as the book progressed, year by year, but the regrets she accumulated weren't specifically related to that year in question. Regrets ignore chronology. They float around. The sequence of these lists changes all the time. Right, yes, that makes sense, I suppose. She quickly realized they ranged from the minor and quotidian, I regret not doing my exercise today, to the substantial, I regret not telling my father I loved him before he died. There were continual background regrets, which repeated on multiple pages. I regret not staying in the labyrinths because I let down my brother. I regret not doing more for the environment. I regret the time I spent on social media. I regret not going to Australia with Izzy. I regret not having more fun when I was younger. I regret all those arguments with Dad. I regret not working with animals. I regret not doing geology at university instead of philosophy. I regret not learning how to be a happier person. I regret feeling so much guilt. I regret not sticking at the Spanish. I regret not choosing science subjects in my A-levels. I regret not becoming a glaciologist. I regret not getting married. I regret not applying to do a master's degree in philosophy at Cambridge. I regret not keeping healthy. I regret moving to London. I regret not going to Paris to teach English. I regret not finishing the novel I started at university. I regret moving out of London. I regret having a job with no prospects. I regret not being a better sister. I regret not having a gap year after university. I regret disappointing my father. I regret that I teach piano more than I play it. I regret my financial mismanagement. I regret not living in the countryside. Some regrets were a little fainter than others. One regret shifted from practically invisible to bold and back again, as if it was flashing on and off right there as she looked at it. The regret was, I regret not yet having children. That is a regret that sometimes is and sometimes isn't, explained Mrs. Elm, again somehow reading her mind. There are a few of those. From the age 34 onwards, in the longest chapter at the end of the book, there were a lot of Dan-specified regrets. These were quite strong and bold, and played in her head like an ongoing fortissimo chord in a Haydn concerto. I regret being cruel to Dan. I regret breaking up with Dan. I regret not living in the country pub with Dan. As she stared down at the pages, she thought now of the man she had so nearly married. Regret overload. She'd met Dan while living with Izzy in Tooting. Big smile, short beard. Visually a TV vet. Fun, curious. He drank quite a bit, but always seemed immune to hangovers. He had studied art history and put his in-depth knowledge of Ruben and Tintoretto to incredible use by becoming head of PR for a brand of protein flapjacks. He did, however, have a dream, and his dream was to run a pub in the countryside. A dream he wanted to share with her, with Nora, and she got carried away with his enthusiasm, got engaged, but suddenly she had realized she didn't want to marry him. Deep down, she was scared of becoming her mother. She didn't want to replicate her parents' marriage. Still, staring blankly at the Book of Regret,